Eagle Run 23 here. Today we're talking about triggers. We've got a Trigger Tech Diamond 4 to 32 ounces. I've used a Trigger Tech before, but never one that light. So I'm excited about trying that out. I think you know what gun it's going in, but we're going to talk today about triggers in general. I'm going to get that trigger put in that gun here by the end of the video, and we're going to run out to the range and shoot some groups with our project. The most common option for triggers is a mil-spec trigger. I know this is an AR-15, but we're talking about triggers in general here. Characteristics of a mil-spec trigger is a pretty stiff pull, usually more than 5 pounds, sometimes up to 7 pounds, sometimes more. In addition to quite a bit of pressure to actually, poundage to actually break the trigger, you'll find that when it actually starts to break, that you can feel a large amount of movement happening. And it's one of those things where if you don't know, then you probably don't care. But once you've stepped up and shot some nicer triggers, it starts to make a difference. Now this one is an upgraded mil-spec trigger. This is from AT3 Tactical, and this is their nickel boron enhanced mil-spec trigger, something like that. But this trigger leaves a little to be desired, but this is even a step up from your standard lower parts kit mil-spec trigger. Now, after a mil-spec trigger, you have a cassette drop-in trigger. Now, from here, there's quite a few companies that are out there making stuff. Of course, everyone's heard of Temney and Trigger Tech. Most of you have probably heard of Elfman Tactical, Elf triggers. I am a huge Elf trigger fan and will run them whenever I get the option. That's my first choice, is an Elf trigger. We've got several of them, and this 338 ARC, previously a 338 Spectre gun, has an Elf trigger. You can see it's got a pretty wide shoe on there. That is, of course, adjustable. You can get it right where you want it. These drop-in triggers, as we mentioned, have two main options, a single stage and a double stage. Now, there's personal preference here involved at all aspects. Typically on a hunting gun, I'm going to want a single stage trigger, and on a precision gun, I'm going to want a two-stage trigger. Lots of opinions on that, whether you agree or not, totally fine. That's typically what I like to do. On more of a precision gun, I want to be able to stage that trigger and then have a nice, clean, easy, soft break on the second part of it, and you get a nice, clean break. That one is probably in the 2-3 pound range. Certainly not a hair trigger or anything dangerous. We are still very much on the safe side for poundage. Now we're over to our bolt actions. We have a Faxon FX7 8.6 blackout. That's a Mostech barrel on there. So this Elf trigger on here, it looks very similar with the same type of adjustable little shoe on there, and this one is set to a really good weight, on the lighter side, but again, not at all dangerous. You want to make sure that your gun is safe. That is the most important part, and yeah, that's a nice clean break. This trigger and this gun goes bang every time, and that's what we're looking for when we're hunting. So why would you even care if it's a heavy trigger or a light trigger? Why does it even matter? There's a very simple reason as to why it matters, and that has to do with the geometry of your hand, getting that straight back pull so that you're breaking the trigger and you're not causing any additional motion to your target. When you are shooting long range, just the tiniest little variant of your gun moving that's not anticipated before that trigger goes off can lead to large changes way down range. If you're shooting 50 yards or 100 yards, it doesn't really matter that much. But when you get out to longer distances, a small change at a short distance can make a big change at a long distance. So in the box, you of course get the trigger. This is the Blue Diamond trigger. It's about the best thing on the market. You do get a little patch, and of course the red diamond in there. You gotta let everyone know you got the red diamond. You can't get the best trigger out there since Elf's not available. I guess that makes this one of the best triggers on the market. I guess you can't, if you're gonna have it, you gotta let people know you got it. So you can put that on the back of your truck, I guess. So here's what the trigger's going on. This is an Arrow Solus barreled action Arrow barrel as well. This gun is unfired. We're just kind of putting it together, getting it mocked up. So the last thing that we need is the trigger. Right down here on the bottom of the action, that is where your trigger hanger goes. Trigger hanger comes in the box. It goes down there along with two little pins also come in, and a screw to hold it all together. It's really no big deal putting those in there. I'm gonna do it real quick and I'll show it to you when we're done. This is all precision work. You should not have to bang those pins in. They should just go in a little snug. I like to set it like this so that the action is touching the chassis and kind of pulled down, and then I'll adjust my screws from here. We have a safety here on the edge. Let's make sure our safety is working. Feels rock solid. And releasing the safety, we have a nice trigger break. Let's feel that again. Now, the more I play with this setup, the more I like it. Oh, that's really nice. This gun also features a finger spacer and a pretty large bump out on the grip. This grip is from Precision Longshot. All of those things are there so that when you are in your shooting position, your hand is straight back on the trigger. It is spaced off so it's hitting the exact same spot. You're not gripping it all the way through. You're hitting it on just after that first knuckles where you want to be. We've got our thumb on the same side so that we're not changing our geometry. See how that geometry changes? We've got everything right here. And we've got a nice clean break. I would say this is not a lighter trigger than our 8.6 Blackout. There's no reason why you can't adjust it to get it where you want it. Got a little rattle there in my stock. I don't like that. Let's go out to the range. I'm so excited. We need to get a suppressor on here. Let's go out to the range and see how this shoots.